Hi there. When I became a CPA almost 23 years ago and counting, I kept running into entrepreneurs who just weren't ready to file taxes. I mean, the mail wasn't being opened, the bills weren't being paid, even when there was money in the bank. And then, of course, there were times when there wasn't much money in the bank. And so I came up with a way to organize the conversation around all areas of their money. And we call that the money doctor. We just made 20 years in April. Well, little did I know, in just a few years, I would need a money doctor. During the 2008 recession, I got down to $20 waiting on clients to pay me. Yeah, we were all going through it, and I had nothing saved. I'd been living on credit, and all the rules changed. It was a really scary time, but I found my why, this brand, a reason to start saving, to start doing things differently, to start making the hard choices, and I was able to save $20,000 in 18 months. That money got me back in business. It helped me rebuild my life, rebuild my confidence. My confidence went through the roof. I'm like, wow, I could do this. I didn't know it then, but I wasn't just rebuilding. I was creating a repeatable process designed to help you get clear on your personal finances and fast, like I had to do as an entrepreneur, so I could keep my focus on my business. A set of simple steps I was doing every single month, and those habits would then go on to become what I now call the Money RX, the money talks that I do all over the city and now here online. So for the next few videos, I'm going to be sharing with you that framework. You won't need a spreadsheet. You don't need special software. Just grab pen and paper so you can follow along. Now, this first concept deals with something that's affecting your money every single month, and that's those automatic payments leaving your account. And let me just give a little background to what we're doing today. When it comes to money management, there's some things you want to be doing on a weekly basis, monthly basis, after the month's over, some things you want to be doing. You need to be keeping track of things all year long, okay? And even sometimes all month long. And you're going to see that in this month one. Here's the challenge. So much of that now with technology, unlike when I started this system back in 2008, 2009, it's done without us. It's initiated by third parties. We can't even get certain things like insurance in some cases unless we go on what's called auto pay. That's where things go off the rail. Just want to let you know, again, referring back to last year, felt led to restart my own system, my pocket planner system, which has worksheets for each and every one of those things weekly, monthly, after the month's over, logs to keep track of things. And so in this week one, what we're going to focus on is one area. That is everything coming out of your bank account, out of your credit card account automatically without you doing anything to initiate it. This is where the chaos starts. Let me give you an example. I'm one of those who, yes, all these years have been getting mail. And I was right. I have to see it. I need to touch the mail to connect with it, to know what my money's doing. I finally went on paperless myself within the last year or two. And once I went on paperless, like most people do automatically, most people start off their financial journey paperless. Nightmare. I knew that my utilities were getting paid. I had no idea when. I had no idea even what my bill was at some point. I'd see my statement, but what day was it? I'm not paying attention to what day it was. And those type things. We're so far from our money. Think about direct deposit. You don't know what you're making. You don't know what's coming out of your paycheck. These type things we're going to deal with in month one. Okay. I'll tell you back in, like I said, 2008, the little pocket planner book that I show, which is actually, this is it. I had to turn everything off after the recession. I didn't have enough money for the month, and I couldn't afford things hitting my bank account automatically. So, this entire system is a 12-month set of worksheets of everything I just mentioned weekly, monthly, after the month's over, to do lists, things you need to stay on top of all month long. Look, it's all in here. I always show people, look how many things I had going in a week, phone calls I had to make because I couldn't pay the bill. So thank God it's a different season. That stewardship doesn't go away. We need to take a look at what we've been given so we can manage it better. And I'll tell you, I've already killed some things that will automatically hit my bank account. Like, wow, You don't even listen to Sirius anymore. Why are you paying for that? Just because of doing this exercise that we're about to get into right now. So here's how it's going to work. This is the worksheet, ACH drafts and subscriptions. First thing I want you to do on your worksheet. Now, let me just say this. If you're watching and you don't have these printed, this will work on a blank sheet of paper. Just grab something to write on because the goal here is to pull it out of that bank statement and put it out where you can see it. A lot of times that's where that money anxiety comes from because we don't know it's out there. We don't see it. And more by design, we're being separated from our money. We're being separated from the thing that we have that can get us to the next level. And that's time and that's money. And we're going to deal with both. But on this worksheet, you're going to see 31 lines to represent 31 days of the month. So when you go through your bank statement, you want to go through line by line of your bank statement and pull out everything that automatically happened and log it on that day of the month. And the other part of that is the other worksheets. It's possible. Some of it's a business expense. If it's coming out of your bank account on the 5th, and it's a business expense, I want you to write it on the business log. The business log is just a listing, okay? You're going to be adding this every week. You're going to be adding to this all month long. Same thing with debt. If it's coming out automatically and it's a debt, you're going to put it on the debt expense log. So you're going to be having it in two places if it's one of those two things. And then finally, insurance. If it's an insurance item, I saw the alert just the other day, my auto insurance, they're pulling it out automatically. I already know what day. I'm going to list that also on my insurance log. Okay. So, two places things could be going, maybe not all. If it's something like a household movie subscription thing, that's not really going to be a business expense. That's not really insurance. It's not going to be anything that you're going to deduct. Some people do deduct that stuff, though. We talk about it on their taxes. It doesn't have to be usual or customary for you, but you get the idea. My first charge of 1056 happens on the 11th. So I'm going to write that here. Now, notice I'm not writing a lot of stuff here because the reality is this sheet is just to get the day and the amount, okay? By the way, this is where we're going to put our detail. Business expense log. This is a business expense. I'm going to say FV. That's my vendor name. My amount, 1056, okay? Not great with handwriting. Over the years, I really lost it. So I'm going to try to do better. Okay, due or paid date. And the reason that I wrote it that way, this is why this is our 2.0 version of the Pocket Planner, is because some of this, what we put on this form, we're going to initiate. Okay, some of it is initiated by others and some we're going to initiate. Okay, so what day was it? Because this is key, the 11th. But we also know if we go back to this expense, our ACH log, see how they tie together? You've got your business expenses. Already we're starting $10 deductible for the month of, and let's go ahead and put our months. I think I neglected to say that. This is for the month of March 2026, okay? March 26. Because think about what's happened. Everything's automated, right? We get away from these things. But already I've got my first charge by the 11th. Now, I'm looking at other business expenses, but they didn't happen automatically. See the difference? We'll get into if it's business or not business. We'll get into that and what to do with the business stuff in month two. But let's keep in mind, as entrepreneurs, typically it's all coming out of one pot. Us. All right. So we just need to know what's going on. The where to put it, we're going to deal with that later. Okay. Here's my next one. On the 16th, $9.99. We need to put our dates on our, go ahead and date, because this system, whether you do this tablet version like I'm doing, or you do my little pocket planner book here, okay, even if you get this book, system is undated, all right? Look, that's July 2009. So you can start at any point with this system. But you see what's happening? So I've already got another business expense accruing. And of course I do. I'm a business owner. I'm full time. So you can expect most of my expenses would end up here. I'm not counting on this for deductions. We're going to cover this in month 2. I've got an accounting system that already knows about all this stuff. This account is linked, all right? But my personal account is not. Think about that. That's why we talk about the business and the personal bank accounts having those separate. All I'm doing now is seeing what's coming out automatically that I have no control over. I can't emphasize that enough. And it doesn't seem like much, but it's nothing like looking at this page and seeing numbers all over the place, but you're going to see what day. I can tell you, I know when my bills are due now because of working through my own system 3 months. I went back to it 3 months. So this is month 4. I'm excited to mute these cameras and do this myself because I got a little bit behind with logging. Because that's the thing with writing, it takes a minute, right? But it slows you down enough to connect. I called it on the podcast, having a date with your money. This can be that time. This is my time. This is my weekly time with my money to settle down, calm down. It's early, but if you're a parent, this is a perfect time if the kids are still asleep or they're otherwise occupied to have that time to reconnect. And if you do this weekly, the way that I teach, monthly's too long. Monthly's too long if there are issues, if there are challenges. Weekly is perfect because you've got that reset every single week. All right, if you need to print out your statements, just have it where you can look at it. Think about it. I do this all the time with clients who bring me stuff and I got to get their totals and do the taxes. Just have it where you can see that statement online, okay? Even if it's on your phone, go through and start writing down. If you don't have these nice worksheets on the back of the sheet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just copy off of this and create it so you can get through this exercise. Because you know what I noticed too? It doesn't have to be pretty. This is what I've been working on. Look at that. I didn't even get a chance to hole punch it. The main thing is get it where you can see it. Now that anxiety is going to go down. Because next month, see, this month, you're going to know what's coming because you're doing this for the month prior. Make sense? Let's try to get through at least 1 month. We'll make it homework to get through the second month. There's a reason why I want more than 1 month, okay? But for today, we can focus on the 1 month because that alone can be just the eye opener that you need. So we'll deal with stuff that's not auto pay next week. That's part 2 of this. So these were things we didn't initiate this week. Next week, it's going to be all about things that we do, okay? And how to log that. And now we're going to separate our money weekly, first week of the month, second week of the month, third week of the month, fourth week of the month. Keep in mind, this was for the whole month, stuff we have no control over. And I remember this page. Looking back at it years ago, it was so comforting to know, okay, what day is that coming out? And I could flip back to the prior month and prepare for it, okay?